Hello everyone, this is the imperishable Sammy Zenith, otherwise known as Sammy Classic Sonic Fan. I'm outside today because it's a rather beautiful day. Also got Ginger with me. So, before we get into the topic of today's discussion video, I just kind of wanted to share an update because I guess it's been on a brief hiatus for making videos, not nearly as long as other times, but still worth mentioning. I just haven't really had much free time to work on videos, basically. My work schedule keeps me very busy. The reason I work so many hours is so that I can afford to live in my apartment. So there you go. Very simple explanation there, but this brief time off has gotten me thinking about ideas for the channel. I won't delve into all the ideas that I have today because, I feel like that would warrant a video of its own or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really fully thought it through either. But, I'm thinking about going back to Sammy Classic Sonic Fan, just the name of that for my channel. Just cause, I don't know, I know I made a whole video about it called Why Sammy Zenith. You can check that out. It was from a year ago. But it's basically explaining why I've decided to commit to that new name. But, my perspective has changed on it lately, which happens a lot, but I've sort of changed my mind about that. I've been thinking about it, and it's the name Sammy Classic Sonic Fan and I are pretty much inseparable at this point. That's pretty much, attached to me. I can't just ignore it, or, oh, that's a goose. Holy crap. I almost walked towards that goose. That was freaky. I don't want to mess around with those. Anyways, we're walking in the other direction now. Anywho, I don't know. I've just been thinking about it, and it's I am Sammy Classic Sonic Fan. That's just what I am. Oh boy, it's windy. And, I feel like I should just embrace that, at least on YouTube. I think I'm going to stick with imperishable Sammy Zenith on Instagram, but also it's just I feel like a lot of people don't realize this channel even exists. Or if they do, they don't know what it is exactly. Like they don't know if it's my channel or if my channel is the Sammy Classic Sonic Fan Archive, which that's a very common misconception. A lot of people think that's my channel now, which it's not. That's run by somebody who isn't me. It's someone who I know personally. I've known that person for many years, but and he's a good person, but it's just, a lot of people don't understand that, and it's kind of affecting my channel. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal though, because it's not YouTube is my livelihood or anything, but still, it'd be kind of nice if people knew which channel was mine. So I'm thinking about just going back to Sammy Classic Sonic Fan, possibly even calling it the official Sammy Classic Sonic Fan or something like that. But that is sort of a mouthful. Who knows? But yeah, that's what my intentions are at the moment. Might change my mind, might just stick with Sammy Zenith, but I'm pretty sure I want to go back to Sammy Classic Sonic Fan, so just thought I'd give a heads up. Man. Okay, I'm probably gonna go back inside soon to film the rest of the video. But, what else was I gonna say about that. Yeah, so this will kind of be, I guess, like my grand finale as Sammy Zenith. As far as, you know, YouTube goes, I'm still gonna keep Sammy Zenith as my Instagram name. Just because why not? But, yeah, and, as far as content goes, like what kind of content to expect, that I haven't fully thought through yet. Or, you know, I have thought about it a bit, but, you know, I'll talk more about that at a later date. But, anyways, yeah, and it'd be great to have a bit more free time too to work on that. I'm currently trying to get that all sorted out. But yeah. Today we are going to be talking about Kirby. Now, I don't think I've made a dedicated video about Kirby. Correct me if I'm wrong, I have very bad memory about, like, all the videos I've made throughout time. It seems like a lot of people who follow me remember that better than I do. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've made a dedicated video about Kirby. So, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Just some... Why would you do that, Ginger? She's got like a... Is that like Chick-fil-A or something? It's like a Chick-fil-A wrapper. Anyways, yeah, I just got some ideas about what Nintendo can do with the Kirby series, since it's like the 30th anniversary this year, 2021. The first Kirby game, which was Kirby's Dream Land, came out in 1991, so it's been 30 years. That's crazy. I just want to, you know, talk about, like, what they can do to, like, move the series forward in the future, because I feel like it's kind of just been, you know, Kirby hasn't really changed much since, I'd say, you know, last decade. So I don't know, I just wanted to share some ideas. So yeah. Yeah, so because I don't think I've made a video specifically talking about Kirby up until this point, I kind of want to talk about why, like, the series is so meaningful to me. Basically, I've been a Kirby fan ever since, I'd say, maybe third grade? Yeah, third grade sounds about right. And I loved the Kirby Right Back at You series. I think that's what got me into Kirby in the first place. And that inspired me to try out a game called Kirby Squeak Squad. Well, that and I saw the commercial for Kirby Squeak Squad. So that was my first Kirby game, and I loved it. I loved all the different power-ups and transformations Kirby had. It really sets him apart from other Nintendo mascots, as well as, like, gaming characters in general. Kirby is basically a cuter version of Mega Man, but I would go as far as to say Kirby's copy ability is way more diverse and versatile than Mega Man's copy ability is. And then, like, you know, that obsession carried on for years. Like, even in middle school, you couldn't get me to stop talking about Kirby. I remember being like, I remember I went to a private school for like a year. It was like a Christian private school called North Point. Shout out to them, I guess, if they still exist. But yeah, I had like a friend there named Owen. He was like 5 grade levels below me. He was like in 1st grade. I was in 6th grade. But I don't care. I didn't care. We would just talk about Kirby all day. That's all we would do during recess. And I don't know, that was good times. That was good times. You know what I mean? Yeah, shout out to Owen, I guess, as well. I haven't seen the kid in years. He should be in his junior year of high school now, so I don't know where you're at, buddy, but yeah, I hope life's treating you well. Hope you're still a Kirby fan or whatever. I don't know. I know I am, but yeah, and I don't know. I've always loved Kirby. And yeah, so I and one of my favorite Kirby games growing up, by the way, was Kirby's Epic Yarn. I know a lot of people don't like that game as much because, you know, it was kind of it kind of broke away from the traditional Kirby gameplay formula, and I don't know, a lot of people thought it was too easy. But I liked it. I liked the graphic style. I thought it was very creative and unique. And I don't know, the game was just very fun to play, even if it wasn't particularly difficult. You know, I liked, you know, just how it was such a different experience from anything else at the time. I mean, I guess in retrospect, Little Big Planet is pretty similar to Kirby's Epic Yarn, and that's been around for longer. I played Little Big Planet as well, but I played Kirby's Epic Yarn before that. Anyways, all right, sorry about that. Anywho, yeah, so the Kirby series has always meant a lot to me. I'm not just, you know, a Sonic fan. A lot of people have that misconception about me. Like, I don't know. There are other things that I care about too, gaming wise. I remember the other day I was even, you know, talking with someone on Instagram, and they were like, "Oh, yeah. So I know, you like Sonic more than Mario, but yeah, I just wanted to say that Mario is actually my favorite." I was like, no, actually, I never said that. Yeah, I never said that Sonic was better than Mario. I've never said that. I'm pretty sure there are even videos of me saying the exact opposite. I can't tell you exactly what those videos are. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I have said that in the past. And like, honestly, I like half of my videos I would wear that Mario plush backpack. So it's like, obviously I'm a big like Mario nerd. Um but yeah, it's just my point is it's just weird that people think all I care about is Sonic because of Sammy Classic Sonic fan. Like, okay, that's what I like to talk about the most. That doesn't mean I think it's objectively the best gaming series in existence. um, Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm digressing so much. Let's finally get into the topic of the video, which is supposed to be what I think they can do with Kirby's 30th anniversary and beyond. How can they evolve the series and give us new experiences? How can they surprise us with Kirby in ways that they haven't done before? Let's talk about it. So, my first idea is likely a pretty obvious one. It's something that a lot of Kirby fans have wanted to see for years, but we never really got a full-fledged manifestation of that idea, and that would be a Kirby 3D platforming game. It seems like every platforming icon has gotten some sort of a transition into 3D at this point. Except for Kirby. Mario has gotten plenty of 3D games. So has Sonic, so has Mega Man. Crash and Spyro started out as 3D platformers anyways. Let's see, what's another example? Literally, the second game in the Rayman series was a 3D game. Heck, even Little Big Planet recently started doing 3D platformers. Well, I mean, there's only one 3D Little Big Planet game so far, and it's on the PlayStation 5, so that's more recent, but still, it reinforces what I'm saying. By the way, I need to try that out. I just don't have a PS5 yet. Those are very difficult to obtain. I'm pretty sure very few people have a PS5 at this point. So yeah, a 3D Kirby game, that would be great. As for how they would get the Kirby series into a 3D space, I'm not exactly sure. I think there was a 3DS game a couple of years ago. I forget what it was called. It was called Kirby's 3D Rumble Blast or something like that. It was based off that mini game from Kirby Triple Deluxe. Or no, it was Kirby Planet Robobot. And it was essentially sort of what I'm talking about. Although it was a lot more it's a lot more bare bones than what I would expect out of a 3D Kirby game. In it, Kirby's basically boiled down to his basic ability to inhale and spit things out, and you're just supposed to go around and knock out all the enemies that appear in the very limited space. So it wasn't like a free roaming open world game, with traditional Kirby gameplay where you have to go from the start of the course to the finish and, fight a bunch of enemies along the way by copying their abilities and using it against them. It was nothing like that. It was a very bare bones experience, so definitely not what I would expect out of a 3D Kirby game. The likes of Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World showed us that, retro-styled platforming games can be translated from 2D into 3D effectively. And Nintendo has shown that they're more than capable of doing that because of those games. So I don't see why they can't just do the same thing with Kirby. I know HAL Laboratory is sort of a different entity from Nintendo's main development teams and whatnot, but it's still a part of Nintendo. They still have all the skills and resources they need in order to achieve that. So I think they can make a 3D Kirby game that doesn't deviate too much from the classic formula. But in all honesty, it would be great to have an interpretation of Dreamland where you could explore and roam around freely. Basically, what I'm describing is an open world game in a similar vein to Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and even Super Mario Galaxy. And this way, they won't have to focus on, introducing some new gimmick, because I've sort of noticed, every Kirby game in recent memory has sort of done that. Like, with Star Allies, obviously, the gimmick of that game was the ally characters, which was also from Kirby Superstar, but they decided to bring it back for star allies and sort of make that the central focus of the game. And then with Planet Robobot, obviously it was Kirby's mechanical suit. In Kirby Triple Deluxe, it was the Hypernova ability. In Return to Dreamland, it was the multiplayer as well as the super abilities. So you can sort of see where I'm going with this. I feel like if they made an open world 3D platforming Kirby game, they wouldn't have to make it as gimmicky. They could just, sort of do a reimagining in a way, and I think that would work perfectly. But I'm not saying I want a 3D Kirby game to be entirely recycled stuff from the past except in 3D. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be as gimmicky. Obviously, I want them to do creative leaps with the series, just as Nintendo's done with Mario and Zelda and other IPs. So anyways, moving on from that, that's not my only idea for what Nintendo can do with the Kirby series. Even though that is definitely my favorite idea, I absolutely want that to happen at some point. Like, Kirby is a 30-year-old series at this point. How have we not gotten a 3D Kirby game? You could also argue that Kirby Air Ride is pretty much Kirby in 3D, especially the city run mode, but I mean, for one, that's a racing game, and two, that was so long ago. Not many people currently have a way of trying that game. Heck, I never even owned a copy of the game. I've always just played at my friend's house, and it's a lot of fun, but that's not exactly what I'm talking about in terms of 3D platformer of Kirby. But it is certainly a step in the right direction. That was so long ago. It was like 2003. I was like 4 years old when that came out, so it's like, yeah, they should definitely at least, make a Kirby Air Ride 2. I don't know how successful the first Kirby Air Ride was, but it seems to be a very beloved game. And not only that, but Nintendo's only, racing game series at the moment that's still active is Mario Kart. Like, they don't make any F-Zero games or anything like that. So, I don't know. They should definitely, explore other avenues, as far as racing games go. But anyways, yeah, that wasn't my only idea. My next idea that I want to share is perhaps one that might be less popular among the fan base, and that's another Dreamland-styled Kirby game. And I suggest that because I've been replaying some of the Kirby's Dreamland series games recently, particularly Kirby's Dreamland 3 and Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. I consider Dreamland 1, Dreamland 2, Dreamland 3, and Kirby 64 all one, tetralogy. And then all the Kirby games outside of that are just, their own thing. Like, Kirby's Adventure is its own thing. Kirby Superstar is its own thing. And so on. But yeah, I kind of want to see another game with a similar gameplay style to Kirby 64. And perhaps that idea is less popular because people like how in especially Kirby Superstar, they introduced all these wide varieties of melee attacks and moves that you can do with a certain ability, whereas all the Kirby games before that, each ability just had one basic attack. But Kirby 64 still kept the gameplay style of Kirby's Dream Land 3 instead of Kirby Superstar, and even though the latter is more loved by the fan base. And Kirby 64 did that by introducing the ability to combine abilities so that you still have a wide variety of moves and attacks, despite every ability just having one basic move, because having the option to combine abilities opens up a whole lot more possibilities. And yeah, and essentially what I'm suggesting here is a sequel to Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards. Obviously, they wouldn't call it Kirby 64 then, but can still have a title that pays homage to that. And they can integrate ideas from more of the modern, recent Kirby titles, like a lot of the new abilities that have appeared since then. But I mean, just think about it. They could even bring back the animal friends from Kirby's Dream Land 2 and Dream Land 3. I mean, those characters did recently make a comeback in Star Allies as playable characters in the mode where you can play through the game as all the Dream Friends. Specifically, Star Allies brought back Rick, Kine, and Ku, and it even brought back Gooey, which is pretty much the anti-Kirby from Dreamland 3, which I really liked as well. I think it would be great if a spiritual successor to Kirby 64 would bring back not only the animal friends, but also Gooey, and not just Rick, Kine, and Ku, but also Pitch, Choo Choo, and Nago. Sorry, I kind of forgot their names. I'm just reading off the wiki page, so sorry if that pronunciation is wrong. But anywho, I don't know. That's just an idea I have. It'd be neat to see them give the Dreamland gameplay style another chance. It would just be something different from what we've been getting recently out of the Kirby series, which has just been, like more of the same. I think it would even be refreshing if they did that, because Kirby games lately have been like a little bit too much on the easy side, not very much difficulty at all. And I don't think that's how Kirby should be. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like how most Kirby games are just easy to pick up and play. They're not too challenging. It's not something to where, a lot of trial and error is involved in completing the entire story campaign. Kirby games have never really been like that. They're not too challenging. None of them are. But you gotta admit, Kirby Star Allies took that a little bit too far. It was definitely too much on the easy side, so I think giving the older gameplay style another chance would be a good change of pace in a way. Just in terms of, not making Kirby as OP as he usually is. I mean, Kirby's OP no matter what, but he is definitely nerfed a bit in the Dreamland games, so that, I think, would provide an interesting challenge to, like, new players, which is a good thing. That's what you want. I think too many, like, modern games nowadays try to hold your hand and treat you like you can't really think outside of the box at all. Sonic Forces is a great example of that. Well, not great example. You know what I mean. It's not a great game at all, but... well, that's from an entirely different series anyway, so who cares? But yeah, I think it would be cool to see the combined abilities make a comeback and potentially the animal friends. So yeah, hopefully Hull Laboratory is listening, because I don't know. I don't know what they have in store for us Kirby games. They've got to be working on something at the moment. I mean, Kirby is their golden IP, basically. Like, there's no way they aren't doing something for Kirby's 30th anniversary. So I'm absolutely anticipating that. I'm absolutely anticipating some sort of an announcement for a Kirby game this summer. I'm not saying a Kirby game will come out this summer. I'm just saying I expect an announcement for it around the time of E3, of course. No less. But yeah, the last idea that I have isn't necessarily a game idea. It could be a game idea, but it's more specifically actually a cartoon idea, and that would be a Kirby Right Back Atcha 2.0. And I'm not entirely sure how they would go about something like that. Remaster it, or totally redo it and reimagine it. Just do whatever you need to do. That's something I'd love to see. It would be a brilliant idea for Nintendo to do, because Kirby Right Back Atcha is a 20-year-old cartoon at this point. So, at this point, all of the people who grew up watching that are now adults. So, there's got to be a lot of love for it. There's got to be a lot of nostalgia for it at this point in time. I've seen it. And not just that, but Nintendo's been exploring the idea of giving their IPs movie or television adaptations as of late too. Obviously, Pokemon has been an ongoing thing for quite a while, but we just recently got a live-action movie of Pokemon, which was, of course, Detective Pikachu, and a lot of people liked that. And then I believe they were considering making a Zelda TV series and even a Star Fox TV series at some point, but I believe those projects got canceled, since the plans were leaked, which is stupid, by the way. I don't know why they would do something that ridiculous, but okay. It shows that they're exploring certain ideas such as that. We know that a new Mario movie is in the works as well. It's going to be a completely animated movie, 3D animated, I believe. I'm not sure. It most likely is 3D, given Illumination Studios' track record. That's the company who's making the movie. But yeah, I think with Kirby, specifically, that would be a great idea to bring back as a TV series, because Kirby he's almost like Goku in a way. He's got so many different powers and transformations. He's very marketable indeed. So if there's any Nintendo icon that deserves another shot at a cartoon adaptation, Kirby is your best bet. I mean, it definitely worked in the past with Kirby Right Back Atcha. At this point, it's a very memorable and beloved series, and it would be so awesome if they brought that back. Especially in the wake of the upcoming Sonic Prime TV series for Netflix. Kirby Right Back Atcha could pretty much be like, you know, something to rival that in a way from Nintendo. That'll make perfect sense, because Kirby Right Back at Ya and Sonic X were almost like rival cartoons back in the day on 4Kids. So, there you go, Nintendo. There's your $1 million idea. And you can even make a game based off of it. Off of Kirby Right Back at Ya. That would be so stellar. It would be something different. Something to shake up the Kirby game series. And Kirby Right Back at Ya is one of those rare adaptations of video games into a cartoon or a movie. There was a Kirby Right Back at Ya movie. It was like the finale of the series. But anywho, it's like one of those rare adaptations that is actually, it still feels like it stays true to the game material that it's based upon. It still feels like a perfect fit into the world of Kirby. It doesn't feel like they're doing anything too unrecognizable. Kirby still has the same personality as he does in the video games. He's very cute and childlike. King Dedede is still conniving, but he's not pure evil. There's still Nightmare, who's pretty much the overarching antagonist of the series. And then you still have Meta Knight, who's, he's mysterious. You don't know what he's gonna do, whose side he's on. That's Meta Knight for you. And they added some, new supporting characters that are original to the series, but aside from that, all the characters are based on ones that showed up in the games. You have Chef Kawasaki, you have the Cappy characters, you have Knuckle Joe, just characters like that. It's really the perfect game-based cartoon, besides Pokemon, of course. I guess Nintendo just has a knack for that, which is exactly why they should do it. They should bring it back. Seriously. Give the new generation a chance to experience it, and make a game based off of it, too. I don't know if they would make it just, a Kirby platformer with the traditional gameplay, but just set in the world of Kirby Right Back at Ya. I think that would work. It would also work as an RPG to make it, a bit more story focused, which not very many Kirby games are. Kirby Fighters showed that RPG elements could be combined with Kirby, so they could definitely evolve that sort of concept into, a game based on Kirby Right Back at Ya. I think... Yeah, and the Kirby series is one of those series that Nintendo just has a lot of creative flexibility with. You can make all sorts of different types of spin-offs, and it would still make sense, because it's Kirby. Kirby's Epic Yarn, Kirby Mass Attack, Kirby and the Canvas Curse, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Even Kirby's Dream Course. Those are all, perfect examples of that. I wouldn't even mind seeing, a newer version of one of those games I just mentioned, too. There are all sorts of things they can do with the Kirby franchise going forward. So I can't wait to see what they have to announce. Hopefully it's something along the lines of what I discussed here today. Or it could be something completely different. I hope it's worthwhile. I'm eager to see what they are announcing this summer. My money's on that. I think they've got an announcement planned this summer. So, look forward to that. This has been the imperishable Sammy Zenith. I'm going to be signing off for the last time under the name of Sammy Zenith on this YouTube channel. Because I think after this video, I'm going to go back to Sammy Classic Sonic Fan, sometime within the next few days. I don't know. And exciting things on the horizon. Can't give you an exact time frame, of course, but, yeah, I'm not going to go into much detail about that. You're just going to have to wait and see. That's, part of the excitement of things sometimes, so, yeah. Thank you if you watched this video all the way through. Subscribe for more videos, like the video. Dislike the video if you want King DDD's Drum Dash to be made into a full-scale game. As in the mini-game from Kirby Dripple Deluxe. I don't know why you would want that. Only reason I can think of is because you like rhythm-based platformer games. That's nice and all, but I think that minigame is a pretty lame example of that, so yeah, I don't know. I guess that wasn't, I guess that's not the worst possible reason to downvote a video, but yeah, still, don't do that. It's a crummy idea. Anyways, goodbye everyone.